Tonight is a big night for GOP debates. Tonight, they're going to happen. And of course, Donald Trump is already convinced that the debates are going to be unfair. According to Politico, Trump told them, and of course, tweeted it out, because that's what Trump does, he tweets a lot, that he thinks the debates just are not going to be fair. According to Politico, Trump told them, no, in response to a question, do you think the debates will be fair? What do you think is going to go on here? He says, no, I don't expect the debate to be fair. Quote, after a great evening in packed auditorium in Iowa, I'm now in Colorado looking forward to what I'm sure will be a very unfair debate. And this was a tweet, of course, this morning from Donald Trump. And also, he didn't just go after how the debate is going to be unfair, but he actually goes after CNBC for doing what he says were reporting fictitious poll numbers. Number one, based on every statistic, is Trump by a wide margin. They just can't say it. Well, they can't say it because it's not true. There are polls that show that Donald Trump is starting to slip behind Dr. Ben Carson, even some of the polls nationally. You can't just refute it just because you don't like it. When Trump was on the polls, when he was number one, we reported it. And everybody reported it because it was true. Now that Trump is in some polls behind Ben Carson, especially in Iowa, you have to report that because that's the truth. There's no bias here. I guess unless you're Donald Trump, which you somehow think that facts are biased. The facts don't like me. The facts don't like me. No, the facts don't matter. They matter. It doesn't matter what you think about them. They're true no matter what, regardless of what you think. So, it's funny. So it's hilarious. He's slipping in the polls, in some of the Iowa polls, which really, to be honest, if you're Donald Trump, it doesn't really matter that you're losing in Iowa. Iowa is one state. He is ahead in other states. Iowa's very religious. Iowa is going to go to Ben Carson. And remember, Iowa, in 2012, Rick Santorum won. He didn't do very well in the rest of the country, but he won in Iowa. Also, Mike Huckabee won in 2008. Did he go on to become president? No. Iowa, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter all that much on the Republican side. They're very, very religious, and that's why they're going to pick Dr. Ben Carson. And that's fine. Trump is flipping out for no reason. Oh, it's because I'm not ahead. I'm not ahead. I must be ahead on every poll. I must dominate every single poll and every single headline because I am Donald Trump. It's sort of petty. It really is. But this goes to, he's already crying about the debate before it even happened and accusing the debate of being unfair. Well, look at what happened in the last one. They actually asked me tough questions. And that's what you're supposed to do. And yes, when you're the front runner, you're going to get tough questions. You're going to be the target. That's kind of what comes along with the territory of being the front runner. If you can't handle the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen. But he thinks that the media and the establishment definitely doesn't like it. And the media is a tool of the establishment. Now, he might be right that the media is unfairly biased against him. That would be a fair assessment. You know who else the media is against? Bernie Sanders. Anybody who's not part of the establishment or is not considered part of the establishment gets targeted by the media. That's kind of how it works. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that's how it works so far. But here's the thing about this, right? The media, rightly so, goes after Donald Trump when he says outrageous things and then quotes him in context. You can't go after the media for quoting you in context. That's what you said. Fucking own it. If you said Mexicans are rapists and murderers, own it. interestingly enough, the media has declined, and this is where media bias comes into, because it's a corporate media bias. The media comes back and doesn't actually highlight when Donald Trump says something true about the corruption between the media and Washington. Where he mentioned how, well, what I do, I give money to a politician to do whatever I want. Skip past it, ignored it, didn't talk about it at all. But that's actually an issue worth mentioning. That's actually the issue. Look, Donald Trump is wrong on a lot of things, but he's absolutely right about the corruption. Absolutely right about the corruption. And he's absolutely right when he attacks money in politics and super PACs and Citizens United, because all of that benefits the media greatly. And that's where the media shows its bias, because they don't focus on that. They instead go to the other outrageous stuff, the actual outrageous stuff that he says, and tries to drown out the very few kernels of truth that exist in a pile of shit that is Donald Trump.